Hi, and welcome back to Ignite Success, where we sit down with business owners, business professionals to talk to them about a lot of cool things that they're doing and to hear their success stories to inspire you and motivate you. I'm Sherrie Clark, and I am your host. And today I have with me Derek Sawyer. Hi, Derek.
Hello, Sherrie. How are you?
Hi. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
I appreciate it.
I'm glad. I was so excited when I saw your name was on there.
I'm, as always, excited to come hang out. So
Thank
you.
Yeah. You're always a welcome addition here. So, Derek, I want to talk about you and your company, ALL22.
Yes, ma'am.
And tell us what ALL22 is and how did you get that name?
Sure. So ALL22, my co-founder and I actually, like most people, found an opportunity to reevaluate life a little bit when COVID hit. We were all isolated and had a chance to kind of reevaluate priorities. And so my co-founder has been in the international American football business for many years, coaching, scouting in Europe, in South America, in Canada, and of course here in the U.S. And what we found is there was a huge disconnect between the teams and the athletes around the world and a big opportunity to get them connected. Think of kind of a LinkedIn for sports professionals.
Oh.
And there's a little bit of this on the collegiate level, but people really don't think about it on the professional level. And you look at what's happened in basketball over the last couple of years with players here in the U.S. going abroad and players abroad having the opportunity to come here. And we wanted to create the same thing in American football.
Well, that's pretty interesting.
It's been fun. It's been fun. And you asked how we got the name. The name is an interesting one. As anybody who's not a marketer will tell you, naming can be really tricky. But ALL22 is the name of the camera angle that all scouts use when they're examining the field, when they're watching for players and looking to evaluate tape. And so we took that as an opportunity to kind of take that name and really hone in on the idea of evaluating players, finding them the right fit, and then making those connections, whether it be here in the U.S. or internationally.
Well, that's really interesting for people who do not know that little, tidbit of information. ALL22. Interesting. Did you come up with it or did your co-founder?
Well, I'll actually have to say it was, I believe, a third-party suggestion. So it was a specific family member, which will remain nameless. But we had a lot of input. This actually was a lot of whiteboards and process getting down to that. But yeah, the name is important. It tells a lot about you in a first impression, and we felt like it was, we put a lot of time into it and feel happy where we landed.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's so that your logo, branding is so important, and it's something you have to sit down and you have to take you have to, do a strategy on it, think it through, and input is always so good. Third-party input.
My brain goes a little bit haywire sometimes, so having people to help me kind of work through that process is critical.
Yeah, well, I think because sometimes we can get so close to it, we can't see the forest for the trees, and you need somebody to come from the outside and say, oh, there's the forest. Let me describe it. Let me tell you what's going on. And you sit back and like, oh, my goodness, I didn't even think about that.
Show you the obvious.
Yeah.
I think that's, the thing that's right in front of you that you can't see. I think that's absolutely it. My co-founder and I went in circles. Finally, we started, enlisting a lot of other help, and there we go. So.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, I have another question to ask you, which I think is important, is how to promote diversity in a global organization.
Sure. Well, I think one of the cool things about being a global organization is that is a little bit done for you already. And just the fact of having access to so many people in so many different areas of the world, you get diversity without trying. But that all said, I think connecting people in different places is what really makes diversity cool. It's taking somebody who is playing American football in Africa with limited resources and connecting them with somebody in Europe who was there 10 years ago and can help them work through that. Learned a little bit about each other, understand kind of where you come from, what the different barriers, government institutions, vibe of people that live in those areas. So, it's been really cool for me personally. I love to travel. So I've been able to hit 13 countries so far in Europe. I've got a few planned in Africa. I've got Brazil, Mexico, and hopefully New Zealand coming up. And so just within our Slack channel internally, we have roughly about 100 scouts in 50 countries, men and women, which has been really, really cool. Because, again, just seeing the different somebody in Spain talking about sort of the environment there compared to somebody who's in Turkey or Brazil or anywhere around the world, which is, again, just been really one of the things that I've come to appreciate the most about working in this group.
That is a huge network. I'm just
cool.
listening. I'm like, wow, that's a network.
It's a big one. It can be a little overwhelming at times, but it's a big one.
Well, you know, Derek, I appreciate you coming and sharing with us.
Thank you.
It's always fun to talk with you. Always a good time. Yeah. So that's it for this segment of that's it for this segment of Ignite Success.
Let me count you in. I won't stop recording, but I talked over you, so no stress. I can cut it very easily in the edit. I'm just gonna count you in, and you're gonna go ahead and start your outro, okay? Cool. So we go in 3, 2.
Thank you, Derek, for being here and for joining us. And that is it today for Ignite Success. Can't wait to catch you on the next one.